Hi everyone, this is Carol Hill. In this video, I have titled it, Why Do I Show as Deceased on FamilySearch.org? I work as a family search support helper, volunteer, and sometimes a guest will call and very frustrated that they see themselves or someone they know as deceased on FamilySearch.org. So, why does this happen sometimes and how can it be fixed? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. I personally believe that this happens sometimes because for those of you who have used record hints in Family Search, a lot of times those record hints will be available to attach to a family. Let's say, for example, the 1950 census, or we see a lot of obituary records as well. So sometimes the person attaching the record sees the children, and since they cannot see living individuals in Family Search, they create a new person and then mistakenly marks the person as deceased, since they believe this is a long time ago and that the person must be dead. Because if you're in the 1950 census, you probably aren't living still, right? Well, sometimes we forget to do the math. So anyway, if this happens and you find yourself deceased on Family Search, or if you also see a member of your family deceased on Family Search, don't panic. I'm going to tell you how this can be fixed. And it's actually a super easy fix. So here I am on the computer, and what you're going to do is you're going to find the person who's deceased that you know is actually living. And let's just pretend that my mother is actually living. She died 20 years ago, but let's pretend that she is living and I need to change her. So what I'm going to do is, and what you're going to want to do is locate the person on Family Search. I just have her here on my tree. So I'm just going to click on her name, and then I'm going to have this little pop out to the right. And you can't change anything right here, but you've got to click on this person page to go change her information. And I love this because this brings you to her details page. So you can see right here it says details, and this is where you want to work mainly. This is where you're going to see record hints, search for records on the right hand side. This is where you're going to work, and you're going to go to her vitals. And in her vitals you will see that it shows her death. Now she is deceased, so I'm not going to take this all the way through the process. But what you will do is click her on this pencil, and it pops up as edit death if you just leave your finger pointed there. So we're going to have to click on that pencil, and what you do is you will just click living up here, so everything gets grayed out here. And she actually died at my home, but let's say that she is living, and I can just say I saw her yesterday at her home. And then you can put other things there as well to show proof that she's still living. And then you would just save this, okay? So when you save this, and I'm not going to save this because I don't want to have to, make her dead again. But once you save this, well, a couple things will happen, and that's what I wanted to explain. So once you save it, it really depends on the contributors and who has put the information in. So if you were the one who created the individual and no one else has made any changes, you will automatically see that he or she is changed to living. So let me just cancel this because I don't want to make that change. But what you will see here, instead of death, you will see living. But that's only if you were the one that actually created her and that nobody else has made changes. So you should see that come up as living. If you don't, you can just do the little refresh button. Oh, I don't have that screen, but up at the top above here, there's a little refresh. You can refresh that button. Now, if you were not the one who created the individual, or if other users have made changes, like I said before, then the information will be sent to a team on FamilySearch.org, and they'll look at that person to make sure the person's living. And then since you're the one changing the person to living, then you will receive an email, and it takes a day or two indicating that a correction has been made. Now, if you didn't create the person, you will not see that deceased person anymore when you look at your tree. the user who created it will see the person as living. So that's just going to go, and you're not going to see that person anymore because you didn't create that person. So, and that's how easy it is to make that change. So again, if you find yourself or anyone you know deceased on Family Search, follow these instructions and your problem will be solved. And one thing I wanted to mention, if you're not used to using Family Search, we have like a help and learning section. And to get to that help and learning section, you can click on this little question mark up here at the top, and then come down to our help and learning. And then you can search. So you could search for an article that might help you as well. And you could search for, let's just say deceased, changing deceased. Let's say change deceased to living. Okay, you can just click on there, and then you can click the search. And then right there, how do I change the status to from deceased to living? So, anyway, you can click on that, and it just brings up this article, and down here it'll explain some things that I just did. So I just wanted you to know too where that was. Anyway, I hope this helps. Please don't freak out if you find yourself deceased or someone else, and go ahead and just follow this and make the change. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.